Hello everyone, welcome back to the reading corner. So after a long time again I'm here with book reviews. So today I'm not going to review only one book, but in this video you are going to see two book reviews. And I was waiting for a long time to shoot a video, but as the weather is so humid, so I was lacking confidence, and I was thinking that I should record a video or not. But then I literally gave up on my laziness and I thought, let's shoot the video no matter how humid the weather is or how hot the weather is. So I have come here today with two books, and the first book that I'm going to talk about is this one, Pollyanna by Eleanor H. Porter. So this book was purchased in College Street, and it was also purchased by me, but it was a gift from one of my brothers. So I was really excited to read this book as I got this. So as I read the blurb, I literally felt that this book is going to be similar to this one. This one is Heidi by Johanna Spyri. So this book I read last month, and I was fond of the characters in this book, and I literally enjoy reading this book. So that's why when I went to College Street, when I saw this book, when I read the blurb, when I saw the picture, I literally felt that I should give a try to this one also, to see how it is. And as I started reading the book, I literally felt that there are a few characters that are similar to this one, to this book's characters. So the title of the story is named after the main character or main protagonist of this book. So her name is Pollyanna, and the meaning behind the name Pollyanna is an excessively cheerful person. So in this story, whose name is Pollyanna, she is a little girl. She is 11 years old who has moved to live with her maternal aunt after her father's death. And her aunt, Miss Polly, is very stern, so she is a person who values etiquette and manners a lot. And where Pollyanna is a very cheerful person who loves to meet with everyone, be friend with them, and does not like to follow any manners or etiquettes. That somewhat disturbs Miss Polly, and she becomes disgusted by the behavior of Pollyanna. But with the time, it is to see that if she gets used to with Pollyanna, and from outside it seems that she is very angry, she is disturbed with Pollyanna, but inside she feels what an extraordinary child she is. So this book is full of light, and there is an amazing thing in this story that you will get to know while reading, which is being glad about something when you don't have anything to be glad about. So in this story, when Pollyanna goes and meets with different kind of people and learn about their disappointment towards life, then she shares a very hidden secret or a game that actually make the people around her very happy and very cheerful, hopeful towards their life. The game is when you feel that everything is going wrong with you, with your life, nothing is in the place, and you feel disturbed and you don't find anything to be happy about, then you have to find something for which you are grateful, for which you feel glad that it is there in your life. Then being in the midst of a bad situation, bad things, still you find a reason to live for, to be happy. So this book is all about that. You are going to see a lot of interesting characters who are different at first, but when they meet with Pollyanna, then they find a reason to live. And when you finish this book, you will feel that you have got a vase with a different kind of flowers with fragrance. So that's what I felt after reading this book, and I also posted this line with the picture of this book on my WhatsApp. If you read this book, and if you have already read this book, then I would suggest you to also go for this one. You are going to be mesmerized after reading these two books. They are amazing, and I think the reason for what I chose this book, it is fulfilled, because I literally wanted to read a book of a little girl who is very mysterious, at the same time optimistic towards life. So now I'm going to talk about the second book, and the book is The Palace of Illusion by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. So this book was in my bookshelf for a long time, and I dared to touch this book because I was feeling that if I will be able to value the story or not. And before this book, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I read this book, The Forest of Enchantment by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. I literally fell in love with her writing, the way she sees a woman character, and I wanted to know how she has painted the character of Draupadi in this story, because I have heard a lot about this book, about the story behind this book. So the story is a Mahabharata story, but it is painted through the eyes of Draupadi. And in this story, you will see how she has born from the fire, and her brother also, and how she sees every character through her eyes. All these things are there in the story, and you will literally get a lot of new things that were not in the Mahabharata itself. And you will see every part of Draupadi's life, from childhood to her married life, then at the end of her life, whatever happened to her life and to her, and how she looks towards every character of Mahabharata. And while reading this book, you will see the very sweet and beautiful relationship between Krishna and Draupadi. Whenever she used to be in any kind of trouble or problem, she used to call out for Krishna, and there was present all the time in front of her. She used to get suggestion, or whenever there was question, she used to ask them to him. And you will get to know how Draupadi was born, and the reason behind her birth, and how the prophecies of her life became true, and how bold and courageous character she is. You will understand by reading the story, and you will see a lot of things that are similar to nowadays generation, where still there is the lack of the recognition of any woman's work or woman's worth. Before reading this book, I read a little story about Mahabharata. It was written by, I think, Upendra Krishna Rai Chaudhary in Bengali, and the name of the book was Chotoder Mahabharata. And after reading that book, I failed to read this book. As I read this book, I learned how Draupadi held the secret of loving a person inside her till her death, for the judgmental mindset of the society, and what the society will say to that feeling of her. So in this story, you will see that Draupadi sometimes become very sad, or she regrets that she might have chosen the wrong person as her husband. Though she never lacked the responsibility or care towards her husband, she is always there whenever her husbands feel that they need Draupadi beside them. But inside her, she has a great attachment towards Karna, and you can't name the relationship, you can't name the feeling that Draupadi has for Karna. So this is what you will get in the story, and a lot of things, a lot of details of individual story in Mahabharata, and so many things. So I'm literally confused that from where I should start, what I should say and what I should not. But I would say that if you literally have a great interest to know more about Mahabharata, to know more about every characters of Mahabharata, to know more about Panchali, means Draupadi, then I would suggest you to read this book. You will fall in love with the writing style of Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, and you will see that it is all her own imagination about the Panchali character. She might have got some views of the characters from the epic, but most of them her own imagination about the character of Panchali. And you will also love how she started writing the story and what is the story behind the story, which you will get at first of the book here, about the story behind writing the story and what she has went through while writing this book, how she was supported by her husband or by her family members, by the society at some point, but somewhere they also felt that she's not going to make it a good or successful writing. But after reading this book, you will see how successful this whole story has been of Draupadi by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. And I will also suggest you to read this book because it is the story of Ramayana through the eyes of Sita, and it is the story of Mahabharata through the eyes of Draupadi. So if you have not read these two books, then go and read. You will just be mesmerized by the stories. And if you have already read two of them or any of them, then let me know in the comment section. So that's it for today. So I'll see you with another new video. Till then, you take care, and for today, bye.